Sake brewing is really unique. I don't think when we started we realised just how precise everything has to be. And through visiting breweries in Japan and having brewers visit us here, and we've honed techniques and learnt different bits of different people, and it comes down to even when you're washing the rice, it's 2 minute soak, 1 minute shower, 1 minute soak, 30-second shower, and everything's so precise.
The birth, I guess, of Kanpai, the original inspiration of where it came from, was literally just off the back of a holiday. About 5 years ago, we had a trip to Japan. It was the first time Lucy and I had ever been.
So that was 4 or 5 years ago now. We just went to enjoy the food, the culture, obviously the drink as part of a whole trip. And we visited sake breweries when we were there.
And then, yeah, we were just drinking fresh Namazaki out of these fantastic little cura in Japan, these sort of microbreweries. And it was just, yeah, an exceptional experience.
When we came home, Tom kind of dusted off some old beer brewing kit that we just had in the house, plastic buckets, and started brewing it.
Okay, so we just finished washing and soaking the rice. So we did 3 rounds of washing, and the rice is soaked for 25 minutes. So it's to increase the water content of the rice and also to wash off the nuka, which is the rice flour. So the rice has now been soaking for 25 minutes or so, and it's taken on approximately 30% water content. So 11 kilos of rice now weighs approximately 14.3 kilos. And it's going to drain for a few minutes just ahead of steaming. And we'll steam the rice for about an hour to hour and 10 minutes.
How we do this is actually quite a traditional, old-school Japanese way. So we visited a lot of breweries just quite recently, and they have wonderful washing, soaking, draining machines, which we'd love to have one day. But at the minute, it's super hands-on, which is good because you get to know the rice and monitor it really closely and see how it changes.
And also the rice can be very delicate because it's been milled down. So cracking and breaking the rice can happen. So actually washing it very delicately by hand is, again, quite an intimate way of ensuring kind of high quality and the correct soaking time of the rice. So it steams well, it has like an al dente steam, and that means it will stay whole during the steaming process, but also gradually break down during the mash. And that's how we get the delicate nuances of the flavours, and we do a long extended ferment. So this is a yeast starter we're making for a very special batch. It's a one-off for an event. So we're just going to open it, give it a bit of a stir. So we stir the yeast starter every day for the 2-week period. You can see it's very much alive. Very active yeast, a lot of bubbles, and a really good aroma as well.
Both Lucy and I have been always individuals that are willing to give something a go. And, there's always going to be people that think you're crazy. Even we think we're crazy.
And it was a lot of trial and error over the years. Just started sharing sake with friends and family in our flat here, having kind of Japanese-themed parties. And then people started liking it, and it kind of encouraged us on, and we did bigger batches and more experimental batches.
It basically became a bit of like a homebrew obsession that snowballed out of control, ended up taking over our flat.
And we decided to get a space in Peckham, which is our space we're still in now, although actually it was half the size when we first moved in, and we managed to do some crowdfunding to get the next space. And it's still just a growing thing. I think it became a real thing when we gave it a name.
The name Kanpai in Japanese means cheers, or it directly translates to dry your cup. So it just kind of means bottoms up, cheers, and it's what everyone across Japan says every time they're about to drink, whether it's sake or beer or wine. It's a universal term that's, you know, usually exclaimed and shouted out with excitement ahead of a drink.
With Kanpai, our signature style is kind of a dry and full-bodied. We call it a London style. So here we, you know, spent many an afternoon on the Bermondsey Beer Mile where we enjoy all the craft beers and the interesting takes that brewers are using here.
It's such a diverse drink. There's thousands of different varieties, and they can be used as aperitifs or pairing across completely different dishes, from, you know, oysters to steaks to salads, but also through to desserts and cheese courses, to be drunk on their own with cocktails or actually added to food within the dish as well to enhance the flavours. So we've been supported by coal rooms in Peckham that have been purchasing our Junmai sake for quite some time since they opened now, so probably the last 6-7 months. And the chef Sam Bryant there actually uses our sake in a couple of their dishes. So it's, especially the Junmai sake has certain characteristics which are pretty unique that you can apply to food, into the cuisine.
When we opened coal rooms last year, we looked at all the producers that were local to this area, and Kanpai had just started. So we wanted something that could work with both the food and with the drinks to go on the drinks menu. So when we launched, we had 2 separate dishes on the menu that had Kanpai sake in it, and then we had a sake sour cocktail that was from the bar. And the guys at Kanpai have been really helpful for us launching. You know, they've given us the tools. We've shared sort of Instagram stories and things like that. So together, it's been a partnership. They're a new company, and we're a new company, and we're sort of pushing forward together. And we've become friends through that.
So a few days ago, earlier on in the week, we were fortunate enough to launch our latest product, which is called Fizu, and it's just like a bit of a fun Anglo-Japanese word meaning bubble, and it's our sparkling sake. It's quite stripped back. We're keeping it very natural, so it's made in exactly the same way as our Junmai shu, except with one addition. Just before bottling, we actually add some beer hops, so we dry hop it just before bottling, which creates a really nice, zesty, tropical aroma on the nose. And we do bottle conditioning the same way as you'd make a champagne. So it's in-bottle carbonation, so it has a really nice kind of champagne-style mousse. And yeah, we had this fantastic launch event last week, and yeah, we had a ton of people there. It was a fantastic night. Shared a lot of sake, and it was really well received.
We try and do an event at least monthly with sake matched dinners, or something as simple as the drink and the snack pairing, or going into shops and doing samples. And for me, that's the motivation when people actually taste it and they like it. Or sometimes, even if the nigori quite often splits people, we call it our Marmite product, but even that's really interesting for us. So when you're sharing it with people, that's what motivates you on. And we've just had We've been really lucky. There's just been so much interest from so many people and people that want to come and visit us at the brewery, and it motivates you on, and people are so kind with their time and their wisdom, and it just keeps us going because it is long, cold, dark nights, especially in the winter there, and you've got your hands in really cold water, so it is hard, but I think it's just people that keep you going and sharing it.
What we've achieved so far, what Kanpai currently is, would never have happened without Lucy. I think, fortunately, we're in this together, and we're both providing, most of the time at least, complementary skill sets to Kanpai. But I'd say, the biggest thing, other than the fact that we've obviously kind of done everything ourselves from ground up between the two of us, it's hard graft, is that I guess we support each other when the going gets tough, and there's been a lot of those kind of trying situations, trying times, where one of us has just want to throw the towel in and just walk away, and the other ones had to just kind of like suck it up and get that person back to their feet. And encourage them to crack on. And it's that support that we've had for each other that I think is sort of testament to the success. It's really the foundation of what Kanpai is. I think if we were able to sell Kanpai sake in Japan, I think that would be probably one of the biggest accolades that we could ever hope for the company. But at the moment, we are, a very small artisanal producer where we're, barely in a situation, I guess, at the moment we can produce enough to fulfill our current customers. So it's definitely a dream and a goal to export and sell back to Japan for the future, but it's not something we're going to be able to do today.